Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So today what I want to show you is how to scrap one of these water coolers. Find them sometimes on the side of the road, and there is a lot of plastic on the outside, but on the inside there are a lot of goodies. There is a lot of copper coils, there is a compressor that has silver in it, there is a nice appliance cord that goes with it. So what I want to do today is I'm going to show you how to take it apart and show you how to maximize your profit by sorting the material properly and diverting as much of it away from the landfill as I can. Now keep in mind, anytime there is a compressor, okay, you'll find a compressor in fridges, dehumidifiers, air purifiers, water coolers. Because compressors have a type of gas inside of them, I do not cut the copper cord on my own. I will store them up and I will have a friend come in and safely remove all of the freon and stuff before it goes into the landfill and in order for it to be prevented from going into the atmosphere. So for the sake of this video, I've already gotten that safely removed, so I have had to go into the back of this, okay? So here we go. So first thing, you notice there is a very large power cord, appliance cord, and I'm just going to actually turn this all the way, and I'm going to just first off cut it off the compressor. Okay, so this cord in Canada, it's an appliance cord. It goes for about $1 a pound, and this is about a pound. Okay, there are also some coated brass prongs on the tip. Some people will take these off and put them into their coated brass bucket. Some people leave them on for the weight. I haven't really seen a difference in price. I do take them off because they're very simple to do, but this is an appliance cord. Every single one of these will have on the back one of these steel spools, and it is connected to some copper that goes down to the compressor. So I've already had to cut this in order to take it off. Okay, and if I take a magnet to it, you can see it is magnetic. Okay, so this coil is just going to go into my steel bin. It is, however, connected at the base with this tube. Okay, so this tube is actually number 2 copper because it is tarnished. And to maximize my profit, all I would have done when I cut it is I would put a magnet to the steel tube to see where it is still magnetic. Once it is no longer magnetic, I will cut that, and that is where the copper meets the brass. So there is still, I cut it already, there is still a little bit of magnetic force there, so I will have to cut that a little bit further. So I do that right now, just so, and you can even see it when you look into the camera there, that is still a metallic color. So just gonna cut it down a little bit further with a pair of pliers. And now there is my piece, there is the copper, so this is now number 2 copper. And number 2 copper goes for $1.60 a pound. So it adds up. Also on the coil here, there is always a box, okay? This box will actually have silver contacts in it. So I've already taken it off. It was just bolted on with a screw. Okay, so you can see on the back there is some brass as well. On the front, that is brass, so I just have to unscrew that, take it off of the metal box. And there are a couple screws. But inside, if I pull the plastic off, you can see a couple brass prongs. These brass prongs, I'm going to open up this plastic and I will get to them. And these gold colored brass is clean brass, so this is worth more than your coated brass. Okay, so brass that has like that metallic coating on it that you saw on the prongs. So you want to separate those. Okay, and all I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to take a hammer and open up this box. I'm going to also put on my safety glasses to make sure I don't hurt my eyes. Okay, so there is going to be inside this box a small, this tube is still copper. There is going to be a small coil like that. Okay, so this is obviously your clean copper. It's like a pump. This is so that would be the highest grade #1 copper. You want to make sure you separate it from the coated. Okay, but inside the box, the plastic, there are a couple little dials such as that. If I pry these back, which I'm going to do right now, I have to get a screwdriver just to open it. Okay, on top, right there you see that silver dot, that is a silver contact. So I just cut that off and I put it into my little silver bin. There's a couple on here. There's one underneath this piece as well. So I just have to break that plastic off and separate it. I'll do that for the sake of time. I will open it up completely on another at the end of the video, but you can kind of see underneath, there's another silver contact underneath that. Okay. There is, as I said, a compressor on the bottom here. Now this compressor, it is very easy to get out. It is actually attached on the bottom by 2 pins, okay, and very simple. All I did was I'm just going to cut them. They're steel, but I can just cut them with a pair of pliers. I'm going to open it up a little bit to get the pliers in there. Okay, I'm going to feed this through. And I'm just there's my compressor. When I broke the compressor open, there was a really nice piece of copper here as well. So there's a nice copper tube. Okay, this entire arm, I'm just going to take it right off. This is all copper. And in order to maximize my profit, what I'm going to do is, a lot of this is clean. So I'm going to go all the way down. This is clean, and then it gets to this little piece of solder or soldering. This is #1 all the way down to the soldering. So in order to maximize my profit, there's about 30 cents difference in pound. All I want to do is I just want to cut this little piece off and put this into my #2, and the rest of this pipe will be #1 copper. Okay, same thing with this piece. Little piece of soldering at the end there, so I'm just going to cut that little piece, and the rest of this is #1. I am not going to take this compressor apart in this video. I actually have a video on taking compressors apart, so go check that out. There is another right here in this box. There is another silver contact, so this will come out. And if I break this open, there'll be another silver contact, just like the other one. Okay. These compressors, a friend of mine on the other video I shared brought in 80 pounds of compressors, got $1.40 for it. Really easy to take this top off with a grinder. There is a really nice copper motor inside. It is definitely worth taking it apart. So check out that video if you're interested. So here's a compressor. But as I said, I can take this in as is. It does have oil in it. It is messy. I also want to make sure I clean off these pieces of copper wire and put them into my lower grade wire because it's thinner. Okay, and there are a couple still little pieces of copper on here that I can take off. Okay, a couple other pieces of copper that came off of the compressor. These would be number 2 because there is black paint on them. But as you can see through that coating, it is copper. So there's number 2. On the top here, this is always surrounded by insulation. But this big spool here is actually copper. So I'm just gonna pop off the top. This is just the reservoir bucket or where you put the jug in. This is plastic. It's going in the garbage. Okay. Here's the styrofoam bucket for it. If I can get it out. Unfortunately, our municipality here does not accept styrofoam, so this is garbage. There is a steel plate that holds that coil. You just see it here. So I just have to break this off, and this will go into my steel bin. The rest of this frame, unfortunately, is plastic, so it's just going to go in the garbage as is. But this coil is very, very nice. This is the coil that keeps the water cool. It does have a large tarnish, and unfortunately this will go into my number 2 bucket because of the tarnish and the soldering. There is some pieces right here. This is definitely cleaner, so I'm going to put this piece into my number 1. This piece is cleaner, it will go into my number 1. I'm not going to be too discouraged that this is going into my number 2 because this is very heavy. This is about 1.5 pounds of copper. So right here alone is, about $2 worth of copper. So that's really nice score. And as I said, now that this is taken apart, the only waste is the frame. Okay, so just to recap, lots of coil. Okay, and this also came off of the spool. It came from the compressor all the way up. Another nice coil. So just to recap, all the copper I have right here, and there's about 2.5, 3 pounds of copper here. I have really nice an appliance cord. I have a compressor that has copper still in it to take the time to take that out, or I could take this in as is. I have some metal that goes into my steel bin. And I also have my silver contacts and some brass that comes out of the prongs and off of the box on the back. Okay, so all in all, really good stuff in here. Worth the time to take apart. It only took me about 5 minutes to take it apart. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Tin Man out.